Good morning. It's Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm here with a Sunday thought. Yesterday, I was doing some channeling work, and I had thought I had handled everything well. And then one of the participants didn't come at the proper time, etc. And then I found out this morning, because the person said, "Hey, I didn't get my email with the instructions." And I realized when I went back this morning, because I was quite tired yesterday afternoon, so I wasn't quite up for that, looking at everything. I realized I'd screwed up, totally messed up, whatever you want to call it, and I felt really, really bad. Then I realized that one of the things I practiced over the years is self-forgiveness. For quite a long time, I used to do this every day. I would settle myself, and then I would say, I forgive myself for anything that I have done now and in the past and in the future, etc. And over the time period that I did that, which was probably up to 6 months, off as the time went on, maybe not every day, but I settled down within myself. I also have found just recently I needed to do that. So yesterday I had to do that because I was the one that had messed up and the person missed his appointment. Now, the good news is we can arrange another appointment and do what we needed to do, because it was a really interesting day for me. I just came away from yesterday of channeling a new guide actually for me. I came away feeling so complete and so calm and so together that I can't remember quite when I felt like that. Because then I realized I had messed up with the appointment. But you see, that's where self-forgiveness can take away the anxiety that you feel when you haven't handled something perfectly the way you need to be. We are humans, by the way. We make mistakes. We say things, and that's what I did a lot of my life. Say things we don't think. I used to talk without thinking sometimes as a child and as an adult. I'm a little slower about that now. I have to think a little bit more and be more aware. It's an awareness factor. But the importance of actually being able to say that you forgive yourself, because things can build up. Things can become more and more and more inside. So that what happens is the calmness, the togetherness, and if you're involved in any kind of metaphysics, spirituality, etc., that's what you're looking for, is the feeling of connection to the whole, to the oneness, to the beingness. And if you're holding any guilt, any regret, anything beyond peace and calmness, then what you're doing is upsetting your vibration for sure. And then that ripples out. Now, I never know quite where I'm going when I start talking, It's like if you are worried about something, if you are feeling upset because you did mess up somehow or other, or you missed an appointment or whatever, it can be 110 things. What happens is your vibration through the worry and through the concern can absolutely move on out. It's like the ripple effect, you could say. It moves out, and then other things begin to happen. And this is why self-forgiveness, I feel, is very, very important, and has been a big part of my life for many years. Mostly now, these days, I've worked to being very clear in the moment, so it's not like I'm having to forgive myself for saying the incorrect thing, etc. Although you'll be surprised, because I do talk without thinking sometimes. But it's like anything that upsets you, and it's you. It's not like somebody else. It's like you can forgive somebody else, but it's not the same as self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is when you really are connecting into the higher power, however you perceive that. That I call the love force. Other people call it deity that they talk to or give honor to. It's like coming into that central place and knowing all is well. But the words, with you say, I prefer when I'm really into having to forgive myself, I say them out loud. But then I don't have anyone too much around. But if you can, you say them mentally. I forgive myself for, and name it. Be very clear what you're wanting to let go of so that you can move forward in clarity and ease and be back in the present. Do you know how much when you're worried about something, you're not in the present? You're back in the past, or it may be in the future. You know, you worry about, oh, what if this happens or that happens or it doesn't work this way or that way? Then you're not really present in this moment. And one of the elements of growth, personal growth, is being able to be present in the moment. Whether it's a high or whether it's a low, it's by understanding it. But if you're beating yourself up about something, if you're feeling regret, oh, I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have done this, or I should, the should we used to say, shouldn't, got to, oughtn't, like all those knots. I should not have done that. No shoulds. I work to not having shoulds too much, but it does happen because we're human. The good news is we're human. We're here. We're having an experience, a physical experience, which has emotion. And again, I talk about how I believe this is an emotional planet. So we're always having to deal with those. And also we've got to balance the mental and the emotions together. So it's understanding that by forgiving yourself sincerely, not just the words, but sincerely connecting to that love source or whoever it is you pray to, and allowing yourself in your heart to forgive yourself for whatever. And that's where the words become important. That's where the words say, I truly do forgive myself. And it's like, in a way, it's like laying a burden down. I remember when I didn't do that very often, it was like stocking up. Is that the right word? Yeah, to stock up. It's like everything just laid on one top of the other until your own feeling of self-worth and self-image becomes less and less and less. Self-forgiveness is unusual for a lot of people. They're not used to, maybe if you're not used to praying or you're not used to talking to the great ones, you don't really think about what to say. And it's just a matter of just saying, as I said, for so often, for whatever it is I'm working on. And I have taken blocks of time to work on forgiving certain things about myself or in my life. And it's basically by saying, tuning yourself into nothing else around you, worrying in the mind, but the mind focus, saying, I forgive myself for, and then being able to name whatever that is, one thing at a time. You don't want to have, it's like a smorgasbord. When you go to a smorgasbord, everything is laid out there and do I have this? Do I have that? Do the other? Select one at a time. And because that has more of an impact, more of an importance, more of an awareness. So it's really about being Sunday, being the day that a lot of people go to church, think about spiritual matters, etc., is that it's a time to think about how important some of these things that are explained, or maybe not explained, but just said, well, that's what needs to happen. I just have found it's been very clearing for me when I get upset because I messed up. And it may be I only need to say it to myself one or two times and I'm able to clear. But if I don't say it, it's like a little thing on my shoulder that's in my ear or in my heart. And it's not about what other people think or what they may say or what they may insinuate or talk about. It's about what you feel about yourself and what you're doing and how you feel, and being able to let go of the responsibility of whatever it is that you feel guilty about. Like I did today, was waking up, yesterday when we realized that I had an opportunity. I was quite tired when I'd completed the channeling I was doing yesterday. And they were just so good. I felt so wonderful inside, but I was tired. And so I just didn't bother looking in. But this morning I went looking and went, I did not send that email. How could I have missed it? I remember thinking about it. I did a whole pile of emails of people that were coming in for the channeling into the Zoom site. And so all I can do is forgive myself, because we do mess up. We do say the incorrect things. We do make assumptions that are not correct. And so that's my Sunday thought. Something to think about, something to contemplate, and see how much you apply that into your life. And I also want to say good morning to Karen. Always wonderful to have you listening and being there. And also to Yvonne. And thank you for the little thing, the emojis that are there. I appreciate those. It's wonderful. And of course, I will be back tomorrow night for mental mind treatments. And that's always, as far as I'm concerned, fun and exciting, because I never know what's going to come. But I have to say, the results are happening for people, and you can't beat that when people get back to me and say, this is what's happening. And sometimes it's because people have had ongoing treatments on a Monday. Mental mind treatments work. So I'm just going to say, have a good day. Enjoy. It's still warm. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's still beautiful. It's still wonderful. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, oh, well, summer's coming. Enjoy. Lots of love to everybody. Have a great day. And remember, you're worth it. So forgive yourself if you have a problem in your mind. Worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Forgiveness. Bye for now.